Should we continue to raise our sons that way? Tonight's topic, how to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? Do you have an untutored penis? Has your penis just been allowed to run amok? Somebody call me. We got young kids, man. We got to teach them something different, right? I believe so. One of the misnomers of being a man is that we're supposed to have more than one sex partner all the time, as many as we can handle. Is that still feasible for today's STD climate I don't know. Somebody call me at 855-369-9898. I got questions. Can a strong man, because we're dealing with male, masculinity and male stereotypes, can a strong man still be considered strong even while being in constant contact with his feminine side? Somebody call me at 855-369-9898. I'm just saying, how important is the father being in the house? And what kind of father is that? And what is his ideas of masculinity and manhood? Or is he damaging his kid with old, arcane, and archaic belief systems of manhood? Most men can't handle a woman who makes more money than them. Why is that? Is that real manhood? Who makes the most money? Head of the household? Somebody call me. 855-369-9898. How to manage your dick. We're going dick management tonight. I got a 15-year-old. Somebody out there who's got a better handle on it. Somebody call in and give me some advice. What should I tell the young basketball sophomore, second-year varsity player who's sitting in the building right now? He may even get on tonight's show. I'm going to need some help here. Somebody call me and let me know what's cracking at 855-369-9898. What's your definition of a strong man? What's your definition of it? I need to know. Is being strong gender specific? Women can be strong. I think masculinity isn't even gender specific anymore. If you've been listening to the Voice of Reason, we've covered everything, right? So let's talk about it. What's your definition of soft or weak or a moist man? My good friend Tariq Nasheed, he calls soft dudes moist. I'm just saying, is that old stereotype of men shouldn't cry or men shouldn't show emotional still valid today? 855-369-9898. How can men express emotions without being looked at as soft or weak or on some bitch shit? Men call each other bitches. And when we call each other bitches, what does that mean? Somebody's acting like a girl. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Like my good friend Kool Mo D. What he will say is, and thanks for everybody tuning into the TV One Unsung special with Kool Mo D. That was awesome. We had a great time doing it. And it was a very, very, very popular show. We appreciate everybody who tuned in. I know Mo does. But Mo D will say, you're reading from the female handbook when a man is acting soft or moist. What is your definition of soft and moist and unmanlike? Right? Somebody call me right now and let me know what you think. It's crazy, man. We got a whole bunch of questions here, and the phone lines are on fire right now. What I would like to do is go to a caller who just got in, Dwight from Washington. Chime in on tonight's topic. Dwight, is this Dwight Howard? What up, Howard?
Nah, man, I wish I was. I'm just playing those Dwight, man. Hey, check this out, man. I got a 20-year-old, all right? And I made it through those times, man. My son, he doesn't have any kids, you know what I'm saying? He's in the car. He's trying to do his thing, and I'm trying to support him. But just like you said, man, we were raised and brought up like you got to have as many women as you can. I watched my pops do it, my brothers, my uncles, my friends, and I did it. You know what I mean? I really think you got to get to that maturity thing. Like they say, when I was a child, I did childish things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I'm mature to the point to where I know that it only takes one good woman to really satisfy me. And it don't take all of me to satisfy that good woman.
Wow.
But until we mature to that point and really spend time and take, because you can't just tell them, you got to teach them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once they get that first shot, it's a wrap. You got no control over it. You know what I mean? But until that time comes, man, you just got to keep reminding them, that dick is a sacred thing, And you just can't throw it out there like it's some kind of chore. So
thank you,
got to talk to them. You just can't tell them. You got to teach them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I appreciate the call, Dwight. Thanks for hanging on. Really quickly, more questions. Is being unemotional, hyper-competitive, tough, insensitive, an antiquated way of thinking as it relates to manhood? Somebody's got to call me and talk to me about this. I just need to know. Right? Is it time to redefine the core tenets of manhood? And if we could change something, and I'm speaking of manhood in general, if we could change something, what would it be? What would you change, callers? Call me right now and let me know what's cracking. We got Trill from Kansas. You're in the building. Talk to me.
For real, I feel like this. Ain't no such thing as sensitivity in me. I mean, when it comes to bitches and fucking these bitches shit, just buy a lot of times, apply condoms and get it in. I mean, you ain't got to hit a raw dog. Shoot, just keep your emotions off your sleeve and put it in your heart. I mean, put it in your pocket for real. I mean, it is what it is.
Wow. Hey, Trill, go deeper, man. You got the floor right now.
I mean, it's like this. We in an era where women, they don't even really got emotions no more. Women, they feel like, shoot, they the man now. They trying to think like a man and all that. So, I mean, it make us go even harder. I mean, shoot, we can't have emotions in this day and age because it's just the age of non-emotional, just having no emotions, period, So you just gotta be aware that just like a man ain't got emotions, women don't either.
Wow.
And it's the same thing, different day. For real, it just got deeper in it. I mean, the dude, actually it flip-flops. Some of the dudes is acting more bitch-made versus the women. Some of the women have stepped up and acted more like the men, like the alpha male. And some of the men is like going through their girl phone and tripping with their chick, acting like the chick. It's crazy. The flip-flop for real.
My producer is telling me to ask you a question. Did a woman do something to you to cause you to feel the way that you feel right now?
No, reality TV did. For real.
Trill is in the building right now. Go ahead, Trill. Go ahead.
For real though, reality TV. I mean, look at what they show, man. They all on TV, showing different stuff. The way these women really is, and it's like, dang. Now that you see the way women is now versus the way like men are and the way men used to be, I don't know. It just, like I said, this TV just really just changed everything. It like kind of brainwashed everybody, man.
Wow. Hey, man, let me just say this, man. I appreciate you for sharing the information you did. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Trill from Kansas. He brought Kansas into the building. We really appreciate it. Tonight's topic, if you're just tuning in, it's a barn burner, a shocker, how to manage your dick. Dick management skills are being taught tonight. I got a 15-year-old boy here, my son. We got to teach him how to control his tallywhacker, his Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ladies and gentlemen, 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. I got more questions. What are the top 3 most dangerous male stereotypes? Which male stereotypes are in desperate need of an ideological overhaul? When I come back, more callers. Yvette from Boston. That's our female online. We got Fresh, Idaho, Houston. We got Los Angeles. We got Oakland. We got New York. We got everybody in the building. 855-369-9898. I'm getting you in. Let's continue this dialogue. I'll be back in 2.2. Dick management. Crazy topic. Great comedy bit from Martin. How to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? How to manage true manhood. My son is here. Dick Management Skill 101. We're trying to teach these things because it's very, very important. Again, there are a lot of stereotypes out there that we wanted to discuss. Some of the traditional stereotypes of a real man is we take risks. We have frequent sexual intercourse. We often have more than one sexual partner at a time, often secretly, we don't express our emotions. I don't agree with this stereotype here for sure. We don't take care of our children. We don't ask for help with personal problems. And we don't go to the doctor. Male stereotypes. And again, if you guys are experiencing this, I wonder, should we pass some of these things on? I mean, if you recognize any of these things in your character, would you pass these things on to your child accidentally, unknowingly? I was explaining to a young lady earlier today, I was saying, when you have children in your home environment, they learn through osmosis. It's not all spoken. It's behavioral. It's the whole energy, My son was in Florida at the University of Florida basketball camp with Billy Donovan, and one of the coaches there who knows me and knows him was like, he walks like you, he talks like you, his whole energy, his swag, his vibe is like yours. So I mean, this is something you have to be mindful of. So if you're self-unaware as a parent, you don't really know what you're passing down to the child. So it's very important that we are aware of what skills we're passing down to our children as fathers. Is the hip-hop community, is hip-hop culture, right? It's perceived hyper-masculinity, producing a generation of homophobes and misogynists. I don't love them hoes. But see, now, a hoe is different than a woman. You know how they get to breaking things down. Hoe is short. Black Sheep used to say, hoe is short for honey. 855-369-9898. What are we passing on to these children, man? I need to know. What about male peer pressure? Right? Is the quest to be tough or hard conditioning men to be cowards and inauthentic liars to ourselves and to women? I got to come across hard, or, I ain't real. You keeping it real? Really? Somebody call me, man. If you're going through this right now, 855-369-9898, that's the number to dial. I'm going to open up the phone lines to callers. Slick from the CPT. Compton's in the house. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Zoe? I just want to say this to your son. I got a teenage son. He don't listen to me. We've been at odds. But let me tell you this, Lil Zoe. I'm going to call him Lil Zoe just because. Listen, man, two things, don't forget. Sex is underrated. Being financially stable is underrated. And with that being said, if you take care of your personal business, pussy going to always come to you. You ain't got to never chase no pussy. And I'm talking about handling, controlling your dick. And on top of that, dog, never forget, because I know you're a young man, never let nobody tell you that a woman's pussy is more important than your dick. Once you get that understanding, it's like whatever to you. And I just want to say you're lucky to have a daddy that's articulate and smart and sharp, and that's what you need to pay attention to. And when you do that, everything else just fall in line, dog. Be cool, Zoe.
Hey, man, that's good love right there. I appreciate it, man. That was real science right there. You got science for my son? I would like for you to call and talk to him. I might put him on the show tonight. He might just get on and address some situations that he going through. We're talking about dick management, how to manage your dick. Because think about it. 98% of all rapes happen by men. Poor dick management. We wild. We're barbarians. We going after women. We're trying to hurt them. 95% of all domestic violence perpetrated men to women. 95% of all convicted felons and assaults they happen because of men. So my point is masculinity, has it run amok? Have we not learned how to manage our testosterone and beast-like nature? Huh? I could be with little skinny thick Tanara, and I can't stop looking at some beautiful piece that walks by. Why is that my nature? Somebody call me right now at 855-369-98. What am I passing on to my son? We need help. And somebody is really upset about Slick's comment about sex being underrated. One of our in-studio guests here. She wrote, "Nicka, please. I bet he asked his girl if he can put the tip in." I have just the tip. I have been guilty of just the tip. Just the tip. Don't pass just the tip on to your son. Please don't pass it on. 855-369-9898. Dick management is masculinity out of control. Callers. Little Petey, Mississippi. You're in the building. Let's get active.
Hey, what's going on, Zoe, man? Love the show and love everything you're doing. I just got a little story I want to come across, and that thing you talking about, man, that male peer pressure, man, it's a motherfucker, man. I'm just gonna be real. When I was younger in high school and shit, I had this bad little chick. We was real cool, real good friends and everything. And man, I was running amok, man. I'm trying to hit this and hit that, and everybody hitting friends and stuff, man. And she took me down one day, and like the baddest chick in school, man. She told me, she was like, I waited till you got older because I knew that person wasn't you. So I was like, what do you mean by that? So she was like, you going out here with all these females and everything, and you doing this and you doing that. You got all the nice honey. You got the good looking ride and everything. She was like, but I saw right through you. That wasn't you. I was doing that to keep up with my friends. And once I got older, you know what I'm saying, it clicked on me. I'm like, damn, she was damn right. So, man, it just so happened. Now, 3 years later, me and her about to get married, man. I mean, it's a crazy thing. It's just peer pressure of your friends, you know, they doing this, and you know what I'm saying, they got all the women, you know, you want to be alone, you want to join the group, you want to be doing the same thing too, but like I said, man, it's just, you got to be your own man. That's the only way you're going to be happy. If you're not going to be your own man, you're going to always have something holding you down, or you're going to be feeling bad about something, man. So that's the way I look at it, man. You just got to be your own man.
Appreciate it, man. That's good information. My son was listening. Thank you very much. You got some information for my son. You got some jewels, some dimes. We need it right now. What role have women played in defining masculinity and manhood? Are single mothers responsible for bitch-ass little boys? 855-369-9898. Somebody call me right now. If you agree or disagree, I don't know, but somebody call me. Joy from Georgia, you're in the building. Let's go.
Peace.
Hey.
That question is very timely. I have to say that I do believe that mothers have played a role. And the reason why I say that is because one thing that makes a strong man is having a sense of being courageous and being independent. Mm-hmm. And what I see what has happened is that some single mothers spoil their young boys. And it gets to the point where they can't do anything for self, and they can't even do anything for the women in their lives. And I'm just going to give you an example. When a man is not actively present in a young man's life, you would have a situation where there's things such as carpentry, mechanics. It's just the whole essence and art of protecting, and not even just protecting the household, protecting other people, young children, and the elders, and just things, and you know, around in their communities. It's just that warrior spirit that's really not there and present if the man is not actively there, and then if the woman is not cognizant, and if she cannot actually make up for that loss of the man being there, it actually creates a sense of a weakness, or what you would call, I'm not going to repeat curse words, but it does create that element that is really not strong.
Right.
So I just wanted to say that. I do agree.
Right. I got it. I love the way you articulated that. I appreciate you taking the time to reach out to the Voice of Reason. Thank you for tuning in. That was good game. You guys got to get to your phone lines right now. 855-369-9898. Tonight's topic. It's dick management. Dick management 101. Is masculinity out of control? What can we do to make better men? How about this? Would a law giving fathers custody of their sons at a certain age help improve the manhood, the development of manhood for the next generation? Let's think about that. At a certain age, I was like, Mom, I'm not hearing you. I'm just disconnected. There's really nothing you can say to me at this point. My son is at that point right now. He is. Because when you get I got to tell his father to tell him what I just told him. You understand? He's just totally tuned out. We tune out at a certain age. And especially in a single parenting environment. I'm bigger than you now, Mama. I'm stronger than you now, Mama. Okay, whoop me. I'm still leaving to go hang out with the dudes, and I'll be back when I get back. 855-369-9898. Somebody call me right now. She said Des Bryant is one of those dudes. Hey, somebody call me right now. This thing is going crazy. Stay on the line. I'll be back in 2.2. I got to take another quick break. But before I do, what do you feel is the single greatest difference between young men of old generations from past and those of today's generation? Somebody call me. I'll be back in 2.2. The show is on fire. The phone lines are on fire. Hang in there. Brooklyn, Mississippi, Las Vegas, Sacramento, North Carolina, Delaware, Oklahoma. I will be coming to you after this break. See you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I love all of the women. Am I wrong for that? How do I manage my head that doesn't have a brain? How do I effectively manage him I'm in Los Angeles. Jesus H. Christ. They're everywhere in every flavor. How do I manage my dick? That's tonight's topic. Dick Management 101. I've got a 15-year-old boy in the building. He's my son. I've seen it as soon as he made varsity as a freshman. You know, they were all over him. It was on and crack. Now he's coming back as a sophomore. You know, he's taller. He's made 6 feet now, size 14.5 shoe. Big guy. Well, he looks more like a rabbit because of those feet. But he's still growing into them, and they're after him. They're on him like a cheap suit. And hey, how do we protect him, man? I don't know. 855-369-9898. If you have a tip on how to raise a young boy, how to manage the penis, dick management skills, he needs to know it, man. He needs to know. I tell my son this all the time. I say, check this out, boy. You're going to be younger way longer than you're going to be old. So you don't have to experience everything right now. Delayed gratification is okay. You don't have to do it right now. He told me a story about one of his friends, one of his teammates, that got him a little taste of the yogurt box, of the special younch. Got some, right? And he said he lost his focus. Dude's game hasn't developed since the 9th grade. He lost his focus. He still kind of catch up. And here new is tip jamming, blocking shots and D'ing people. He ain't there yet. Wow. It just threw him off. I'm going to tell you, boy, I'm telling you, it is like Pandora's box made of ambrosia. Wait. Please wait. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Could attempting to impress your male peers be considered a homosexual act? That's an interesting question. One of my producers wrote it. Why are dudes always trying to, look good to the homies? Why is it pimps up, hoes down? Is that some gayness? I don't know. Somebody call me, 855-369-9898. We're going to callers right now. Let's get busy. Tony, Mississippi, back in the building. Let's roll.
Hey, this is Tony. I'm from Mississippi, man. I like the show. My biggest thing is it's going to be hard to advise him on things when stuff worked for my father, not going to work for me. Stuff worked for my grandfather, didn't work for my father. So it's going to be hard to advise him of some of the women and some of the treacherous stuff we got going on these days. Because you got women now that don't want to join your team. They just want to show up for a few games. So, and everybody got a woman in their past that did something detrimental to them, but she had enough love for them to not to do it. So his biggest problem will be the females that's in his past.
Wow. Okay. I can roll with that. Thank you. I appreciate that. He just brought us something that was very, very interesting. There's an author out of Houston by the name of Michael Taylor. He has something called the 5 Masks of Manhood. He just mentioned one right here inadvertently. Often when men experience trauma or disappointment, we tend to disguise our emotions by wearing a mask of toughness, a mask of hardness. Is this good or bad? 855-369-98. We often tend to create pseudo selves rather than allow our authentic self to deal with the emotional pain. Is dealing with emotional pain? I've had some dudes tell me that if you let your son journal, Speedy, if you let your son journal, he's gay. He said journaling is a gateway to homosexuality. Is it unmasculine to journal your feelings? Somebody call me, 855-369-9898. I love you, Speedy. Jessica, Sacramento, let's get busy.
Hi, I was just calling. I was so disheartened by the brothers that were speaking earlier, and all they could talk about was, getting pussy and making sure that your money's right. But that's how we grow men that are injured. I think that it's important to teach any man, any son, that femininity and masculinity are two dual parts of yourself, and they're meant to be appreciated together. Not something that you look down upon and frown upon and try to tuck away. If you do that, that's how you become injured, and that's how you're not able to really appreciate any woman or even appreciate those parts of yourself. And also, the most important thing I would tell any man-child is that when you sleep around and when you trying to jump from pussy to pussy, as it's so been affectionately called tonight, that's the real women are watching you. The real women who will really care for you and who are capable of loving you, they're watching you, and they will know, they will remember that later. Those girls that are ready to hop on at any given moment, they ready to hop on anywhere. We see those all the time on TV. But it's those real women that want a man that hasn't been all over and hasn't tried to prove himself through his pants, but rather through his accomplishments and the things that he can do.
There you go. That's heat. I appreciate the call. New, you getting callers, man. They calling in for you, young New. They want to hear you. Ken from Oklahoma, you're in the building. Let's talk.
Oh, what's the word, man? Good to hear you on the show, man. Couple points. One, I'm waiting on the book. Two, I'm waiting on the talk show. The third point, I always have this conversation with my female friends, and it's all around this question of masculinity. And I always tell them that we can't allow society to sell us the black experience, right? The media sells this propaganda of what it is to be a black man. I'm going to take you back last year on your show. You had a guest on your show. He mentioned something about we need to allow ourselves as men to be vulnerable, to be sensitive, to kind of tap into those emotions. Because we're human, too, at the end of the day. I'm a man first, but I'm human. Also, let me see. But if you can elaborate on that, like for some reason.
I already know where you are, and I appreciate you. I see where you're going.
It's crazy because it's
Did we lose him? Ah, geez. Sorry about that, man. I'm sorry that this happens every week. Goodness gracious. You just tuned into the Voice of Reason. Hey, we're having a great show. Dick management. I say it with authority. Dick management. Penis management. Phallus management. We've got to learn how to manage it, man, or if we've just got it all over the place and just dipping anywhere, we're going to have a hell of a horrible situation. Let me go back to Michael Taylor when he talked about the 5 illusions of manhood. A man must be non-emotional and disconnected. Have status, position, and power. How many women are out there reinforcing that illusion by looking for that man? 855-369-9898, huh? Because women have a price, too, when they look for that man. Do they not sell themselves when they're looking for the man that has status, position, and power? Are they looking for that illusion? My man Michael Taylor said it was an illusion of manhood. Because women can have status, position, and power, too, right? Through education, through hard work, they can have the same thing, too, right? Why are you looking for this aspect of an illusionary man? So let's go deeper. Have money and material possessions, use sexual conquest as a gauge of manhood, must win at all costs and compete against everybody. Is that manhood? Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. Ron, Brooklyn, New York, you're in the building. Let's roll.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
I
just want to let you know the little advice for your son. I became a father at 14, man. And the thing about that is, sex in that age, you lose focus on what you want to be in life. And a whole new world opens up to you, one that you might not be ready for. I believe you can have a better career, a better life, if you take your mind off the sexual aspect of living and just enjoy life of being young while you have a chance. Because when you destroy that by having a child, it's over. It's over. It's harder. You have a responsibility.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That was real right there. I'm about to jump out the window because I done did everything you said not to do. I done did it. Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. No, he gave good, solid advice, young New. And again, I tell my son this all the time, and I'm going to tell your sons out there who are listening. When you're young, the world is your oyster because you have unlimited options. All you got to do is put the work in. Decide what it is you want to do and put the work in, and you'll be able to manifest those options. As you get older, the options, the window of opportunity gets smaller. It's not impossible to turn it around. It just depends on what you're made of and what you're willing to do to turn it around. But that window, the level of the degree of difficulty in turning it around is exponentially higher. 855-369-9898. We got callers. Justice, Las Vegas. LV in the building. Let's go.
Caller.
Justice, let's do it.
All right. First time listener, first time caller. So
Thank you, brother.
I just, wanted to say first and foremost, the common denominator to a lost man is a lost male figure in his life. And your son is fortunate to have you, so at least he has that. But the first thing that a young man has to learn is to separate pride from his true self, because you'll never find love if you let pride get in the way. So if you know what your pride is, and you can put that at bay, then that's the key to success in any relationship, be it in marriage, work, anything. If you can put your pride aside, then you'll make it perfectly in life. I mean, I'm 36 years old. I'm happily married for 2 years. I have a son. When I was younger, I mean, I was hitting pussy left and right, and I think that's a good thing. Don't subject yourself to not doing it, but you have to first.
Well, wait a minute. Let me do this. Let me pose this. Okay, we do understand that as young men, it's available to us. We get it. We lie to get it. We manipulate to get it. We do whatever we could do to get it. But my question is, how? Because I have a young daughter. How are we helping them to defend against our kind? It's like we're vampire dick-pyres. You understand?
Yeah, I completely understand it, but it's up to the man. I mean, I'd say in most equations,
the woman doesn't have a choice. You can say, "Hey, come up out them draws." Do you understand? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying they can't help it? They can't resist us?
No, it's a male. It's again the lack of a male figure. I mean, there are fatherless women too.
Wow.
And
Great point.
It's upon the men to bestow into their women what to watch out for, or their daughters. And it's up to the man to bestow to his son, what is pride and what to let go of at a certain time in their life.
Good.
And, it doesn't have to be your son. I mean, I could be somebody who was fatherless and then have a son, and now I'm infecting him with what I have. I mean,
absolutely. Hey, man, that was a great point. Listen, we got to take a quick break, Justice. I appreciate you hanging on the line and sharing that information. Thank you so much for calling in. Tonight's show is off the chain. Callers, Houston, Delaware, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Buffalo, Maryland, Georgia. The phone lines are on fire. We got to take another quick break, but when we return, I'm coming to everybody. Everybody's going to get a chance to share what they need to share with my son for tonight's topic, Dick Management 101. How do we raise young men of purpose by teaching them the concept of managing their dick, redirecting their sexual energy to focus on something better in life? Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. I'll be back in 2.2. ZoWilliams, Voice of Reason, Foxxhole 98. Deuces. Ladies and gentlemen, Zometheus Rising, the Voice of Reason is back in the building. And again, if you're just tuning into tonight's topic, it is Dick Management 101, right? How do we raise young men of purpose? By getting them to better manage their dick. They must learn how to tutor their penis so that it isn't just a wayward, razor blade chopping them down. I don't know. More questions are pouring in from Twitter at ZoWilliams. Follow me right now. Follow me. Call to action. Follow me on Twitter at ZoWilliams. That's at ZoWilliams. Follow me right now. Tweet your questions. I will respond. I mean, tonight's topic is a heavy one. I mean, what is the rite of passage for young men in America, especially young black men? Is America missing, devoid of a rite of passage? In Africa, there was a rite of passage. You couldn't become a man unless you went through something real. I mean, is poverty our rite of passage? Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898. Has the hip-hop culture, music, and movement, has it made young black men make sex and money our new rite of passage? If you don't have it, you're not the man. Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898. We got callers. We got a whole bunch of them. Tonight's topic is off the charts right now because we got to fix this situation. I mean, what does it say about Nicki Minaj saying 100 motherfuckers can't tell me nothing? Who does she listen to? Is she so hard and aggressive because there are no real masculine images out there for her to submit to? Is it so difficult for women to submit because there aren't any real men? Somebody call me right now, 855-369. Tiffany, Sacramento, in the building. Let's go.
Hi, good evening. Earlier you made a comment about the story that your son told you in regards to his basketball game and his, I guess, teammate. And his teammate, I guess he got some and his game went off a little bit or a lot, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it seems like your son noticed that too. So it seems like he's aware. Mm-hmm. And advice I can say is just to stay focused, because it will distract you. Even though we got horrible rap videos and lyrics, and it's hard because it's everywhere you see commercials everywhere you turn.
Right. Thank you for the call. That was great information. Oh, okay. You're not finished. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Tiffany. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. But as far as men controlling their penis, I think the biggest thing is they need examples of good men out there.
Right. That's a great point. Thank you for the call. And this is when I knew my son needed dick management. We were driving down the street. It was right after practice. We were driving down the street, and there was some thick Asia, some curvaceous on the block, and it was delectable. I don't know. But typically when he was younger, I could sneak the look in. Like, even. As I hit the corner, I could glance, and I knew he was video gaming or doing whatever, and he wouldn't see me. But when we saw, together, in unison, turning our heads as if we were programmed to do so, I said, his wand is awake. I must send him to dick management school. Because I knew what could happen. And in the car, I would be arguing. Yes, I have a baby mama. I would be arguing with her. I say, hey, we're going to listen to this on Bluetooth. Why? Because I want you to see my mistakes. I want you to see my flaws. I want you to see how I've had poor dick management skills. So he's listening to the argument. And then after the argument, I'll say, and this is really whack. I've had him in the car. I've had him and his teammates basketball. Listen to this foolery, guys. And we'll call, because I know she wants to argue. I'll be all polite. Hey, how you doing? Is everything all right? How's the boy doing? And you know what had happened was, this is what's waiting on you. You go ahead and crawl up into something unprotected. See what will happen when you get a Soul Train dancer pregnant. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. D from Delaware. Let's go.
First time caller. I think an issue is just to answer the question that you had earlier about the difference between teenage men back then and us from now. I'm 21, so I think it's just really a respect factor. You think about it, how, back then, words of wisdom from, your uncle or your grandfather carried so much meaning that you could probably still remember it when you were 50. Now you got kids who, their words of wisdom is something from a Drake album or something, and they quick to put it on Facebook. So I think really what it is words of wisdom that back then that could have been carried on for years and years ago, that held more value, that held more meaning, and that made people live that type of lifestyle or live that.
Oh, man. Is he there? He dropped. That's whack. Listen, and I want to address something again before I go on to the next caller too. We have to understand we interface through ideas. And just because we interface through ideas that make us comfortable, that we label tradition, doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for us. The strong man that your grandfather was, yeah, he was strong in a lot of ways. Yeah, he always kept a job. Yeah, he always kept food on the table. Yeah, but your grandmother knew. Granddad is crazy. This is why your grandmother would go through the house and tell everybody, give your granddaddy 45 minutes before you even talk to him when he get home. Just don't say nothing to him. Let him go and get his newspaper, get his slippers on, let him eat, don't say nothing. See, and a lot of people don't realize we'll make our grandparents or the strong men in our family heroes without really seeing what internal battles they had to work through and that they passed on to us. Don't act like granddaddy wasn't putting hands on grandmama, which is why she was in check. And let's just be honest. He put hands on her and he fed her and he clothed her. She didn't have to work. It's a different time now. Women are making money. Women don't have to go through all of these things. And now the meaning of manhood has to be redefined to fit this progressive feminine energy. You follow what I'm saying? 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Sir Joe, let's go. Milwaukee.
Hey, what's going on, Zoe? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
All right. Hey, man. A father of 2 boys, one being 13 and married for 13 years. Man, I'm 33. I got married when I was 19, man. If your son is listening, I would tell him, man, as a man who's been married and going through a divorce now, man, I would tell him, like you say, with the way things are with this Beyonce to the left, independent woman, man, is different from when grandfather was around. Mm-hmm. So what I would tell them is do you, man. Don't ever humble yourself for a woman, man. Stay a man. You know what I mean? If you're providing and you're doing what you're willing to do, doing what you're supposed to do, if one woman can deal with it, trust me, brother, there's 10 other that will do it. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd rather have a piece of a good man than none of all Adam of a man at all. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So don't ever let a woman take it. Man, stay a man and don't get caught up in this day and time of women are, women are strong, yes, but it's different. They want to be the man. You have to be always has and it always.
Brother, you got all of the women up in here upset. They are on fire right now.
And you know why, though? Because they watching Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop. That stuff ain't real, man. That's not how it's really supposed to be. Just because a woman make more money don't matter. So I got 3 of them right now that make more money than me, but as long as they cashing that check and breaking me off because I'm breaking them off, then who's real boss?
Let me ask you this question then. What characteristics of a strong man would you expect not to find in a strong woman?
Not to find a strong woman?
Yes.
You know what, man? I respect a strong woman, but they have to know their place. Just because you may make more money does not mean you are the man of the house. Just because I'm the little brother and I make more money than my big brother, don't mean he's not still the big brother.
Ah, so you're saying women have gotten out of pocket because now they've taken off like a rocket.
But it's not their fault, though. Because you know why? Because I'm 33, so my dad was on drugs in the 90s. Because so many men were on drugs and wasn't handling their business and wasn't doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, I expect that. I respect that. And I tell women all the time, if you come across a lame dude who ain't handling his business, fine. But I own my own business. I work. You know what I'm saying? And
So let me ask you this. Do you think the independent movement where women are being educated and making money hurt women more than helped because it led to men believing that we're not as needed as we used to be?
So I'm going to tell you like this, man. Like the civil rights did to black people is what this women movement is doing to us right now. It set us back. We're not moving ahead. It set us back. It made us dependent on women instead of doing our own thing. And a woman is going to always want a strong man. Even the women in your studio right now may be frowning. If I chop it up with them and they kick it with me, they're going to play their role in their position when I put that D on.
You're going to play your position, TT. Hey, everybody in here is upset. Hey, man, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. If you agree or disagree with the brother, somebody call me right now. Let me know how you want to get out. I mean, this is crazy right now. Tonight's topic is on fire. When I tell you the phone lines have been on fire the entire show, and these women out here right now are very disappointed. Listen, if you're just tuning in right now, trust me. Tonight's topic, Dick Management 101. My 15-year-old son is in here. He's getting ready. I mean, he's in AAU right now. He's getting summer ball. He's getting ready for his sophomore year in high school. It's going down. I know he's looking for a taste of yogurt box at some point. But I want to just... the women are upset. You can hear them in the background there. Again, I need you guys to help us find ways to give him tools to help him better manage his penis and his urges, redirect his sexual energy and into creative energy. So listen, we're about to take a quick break. Tonight's topic is great. 855-369-9898. When I come back, Florida, Portland, Texas, Buffalo, Philly, Georgia. I'm getting with all of y'all soon as I come back, and the phone lines are still open. 855-369-9898. Dick Management 101. How to raise young men of purpose. I'll be back in 2.2. See you in a minute. Oh my goodness. Where do we find these records? Tonight's topic, if you're just tuning into The Voice of Reason with ZoWilliams, the voice of reason, that is I. How to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? How to manage, true manhood. I mean, how do we raise these young boys, to a life of purpose? We've got so many callers, so this is what I want you to do. I'm going to go to all the callers real quick, but I want you guys to keep your statements and comments short. If you have a question, ask a question. If you have a statement or a comment, please try to do it in under 30, 40, I'll give you 45 seconds. But just try to make it nice and concise. And I have a question. Is the violent woman, the abusive woman in relationships, attracted to a man she could be abusive towards? Is she attracted to the soft, moist, bitch-ass dude? Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Is a man a bitch, a softy bear, right? If he allows his woman to control him. He broke away from his mama. How come he can't break away from his wife or his girlfriend? 855-369-9898. Somebody call me right now. Let me know what you think of that. And are you more of a man if you have the strength to wait for sex? Caller, Trouble, female, Tennessee. Let's go, Trouble.
What's up, though? How y'all doing?
Good.
I just tuned in a little while ago. Questions. You're talking about your son. Are you telling him already about the different things that go along with sex?
Well, hold on, Trouble.
Hold on
1 second, Trouble. Listen to me. Trouble, just listen to me for 1 second. My son is actually on right now. You can address your question to him and he'll respond. Nu, would you respond to Trouble? Yes. Okay. There's Nu. He sounds like Nipsey Russell right now, but he'll get the frog out of his throat. Go ahead, Trouble. Speak to Nu.
Okay, Nu. So your dad is already telling you about the different things, the responsibilities that go along with having sex, the mental and emotional things that go along with it, dealing with the female as well as yourself. And those, yes. I mean, if you're ready for those things, then go trying to go get some condoms for them.
We got the condoms. They come with the wallet. But go ahead. Continue to tell him, Trouble, what he needs to think about. He's not ready for that yet, but he's a pretty conscientious young man. But go ahead and speak to him about some of the pitfalls. I'm with you, Trouble. Shit.
I mean, I have nieces, and I tell them constantly the emotional thing. When you have sex, as a woman, we get emotionally attached, and sometimes it's not wanted, nor is it needed. So there are a lot of other things that go along with it. Dealing with crazy females in teenage years, hormones out of control, listening to what your girlfriends are telling you because mama's too busy running the streets. There's a lot of things that go along with that. And the caller who called in saying about him laying dick and how that keeps the woman in line, I'm a professional woman. I'm a truck driver. I have a good job. Just because you have good wood, that doesn't mean that I'm going to do every single thing it is that you say.
I beg to differ. Thank you so much, Trouble, for the call. We really appreciate it. I beg to differ. I mean, women have jumped through hoops for this golden rod. So I'm just going to say that's not always true, and we have to start checking women for the things that they tolerate in order to feel good in the moment. One of my favorite philosophers, Jiddu Krishnamurti, said that's the one thing the poor man and the rich man have in common. It's that moment of escape within the orgasm. And if a man can put the hammer, the mighty hammer of Thor down, this dude could be broke, he could be retarded, he could have on a crash dummy helmet, the whole 9 yards. If he puts the schlong down, women tolerate more than they should. Am I lying? Ladies call me, disagree. Nu, are you getting this, Jewel, right now? Yeah. Good, thank you. Let's go to the next caller. Josh, you're in the building, Buffalo. Let's go.
Hey, this is Josh from Rough Buff. How you doing? Kind of enjoying this topic tonight, and I'm gonna just on the basis of a young man because I have sons involved in my life. So just a little insight on your son. Education is very important. Knowing about sex, knowing what it's about, knowing how important sex is, and the value of sex. It's kind of tough for young men today because young ladies is just explicit dressing and of course, with nature of the beast. So when you're educated and you understand what it's all about, you'll make better choices and decisions in your life, and always stay grounded in a well-rounded life. You're a dad that's involved in your son's life, very important. And saying this, that's a lot of young men don't have that. They don't have father figures. They don't have a male figure in their life that's a positive influence. TV is a big part of things that's going on, but you can bypass all that. You have to understand it's just TV. It's to make money. It's to show us, to keep the viewers and keep things going. But you have to have a very strong mind to move on, move past that, and respect yourself. Once you respect yourself, you'll do different in life in a more positive manner. So, to your son.
So listen really quickly. So listen, my son wants to say thank you. Go ahead. Thank you. Saying you appreciate what he was saying. Hey, thank you for the call, man. Thank you very much. We got to move on. Mr. Brown from Georgia, you're in the building.
Hey, what's going on, Zo? How y'all doing this evening, man? I just had a couple comments, man. I like the way you doing it, you know, just putting it in your son's face, telling him pros and cons, you know, and I say me coming up as a young man, you know, I'm 30 now, but I remember the chastising, the talks with my dad, and I appreciate it now that I'm older and I have 3 sons myself. But a lot of callers talked on a couple things saying, you know, everybody had good points, but it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. That's where we disconnect now as a society. You know, society is built up raising sissies and punks. You know, if you don't have a father, go find a positive male figure. You understand what I'm saying? And make sure you love your son. Love your son, love him to death. Make sure that regardless of the mistakes he makes, that he always know he can talk to you, he can have somebody to experience that with.
Hey, that's a good day. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here with my young son, ZoWilliams, voice of reason, Foxxhole Radio. Tonight's topic, how to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? How do we take dick management skills to raise young men of purpose? 855-369-9898. And we have women in the studio with us right now, and they are on fire. They are upset. My comment about the goldenrod, you know, one young lady says that this is why young ladies like thugs. That's why I say this is a two-pronged kind of situation here. We're talking about dick management for men and young boys, but what about women who are attracted to the recklessness? Let me see. Part of one of the stereotypes is that, you know, men take risk. Masculine energy is a risk-taking type of energy, and there's an intoxication to that for some women. What about the women who like that kind of stuff? Somebody call me right now and let me know what you think. Scenario: thug gets out of jail. I mean, this was written by one of the sisters in the building right now. Thug gets out of jail. Girl says, so how long were you locked up? Thug says 6 years. Well, second chances are good. Put this condom on is what she says. I don't know. The thug dude, I mean, you know, wife beater, fresh out of jail. You don't know what he was beating while he was in jail. Himself or some other cellmate, maybe. But maybe that doesn't matter. I'm just saying, why are women attracted to the bad guy? Right? All of the things that are wrong with masculinity, why do women seem to fall for that? Do women want a man that will be aggressive in bed or perform with an emotional connection? Which is better? The beat-ups, the smash-downs, or the intimate connection? And one of the sisters here prefers the beat-ups, I hear. Let's go. 855-369-9898. Talik from Texas, you're in the building. Let's go.
Peace and blessings. This is my first time hearing you on your show, and I appreciate what you're putting out there. But let's be real. Number one, a man's going to be a man. He must acknowledge himself, and thus he must respect that woman. So therefore, in order to see that their child sees that reflection of the man and how he treats his woman, he will become that better man. That's what you got to do. We can't be sitting around here bullshit no more, letting commercials and streets raise our kids. Take control of your children. Right. That dude that get up there talking about slinging dick all day long, come on, man, that's just a phallus. That kid is just hanging on a mental destruction. Dick don't make a man. Mind over matter. That's the bottom line.
There you go. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. True marks of manhood: spiritual maturity, sufficient enough to lead a wife and children. Personal maturity, sufficient enough to be responsible as a person and as a husband and as a father, right? If he so chooses to be married. Economic maturity, sufficient enough to hold a job or, to maintain his household, and not necessarily just a family, but, economic maturity covers all of that. Family, personal, self, the whole 9 yards. Physical maturity, sufficient enough to work and protect a family. Moral maturity, sufficient enough to lead by an example of righteousness. Listen, I tell my son, everybody knows I'm a hothead. Everybody knows I got anger issues. I'm a mad guy. I get into a fight on the basketball court. After the fight, I go apologize to everybody. And then I pull my son to the side. How did I deal with that? On a scale of 1 to 10, you were really poor today, Dad. It was, And the reason why I do that is because I want to put him in a position of judgment of me when I'm out of pocket. Why? Because that builds leadership in him when he gets close to that, because it's in him like it's in me. That's where he got it from. So then all I got to do is look at him when he's out of pocket, and he already knows because we've had this conversation. Do you understand? 855-369-9898. Ethical maturity, sufficient to make responsible decisions. And listen, this is all about relationships, guys. Those who are listening to the sound of my voice right now, this is about relationships. This is why black men and black women have a difficult time with relationship. The black race is probably at its current state one of the most unforgiving populations on planet Earth. Why? Because we carry intergenerational curses like white people carry intergenerational wealth. They transfer their wealth. We transfer our baggage. We transfer our resentment and self-hate. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, conflict is inherent in relationship. There's no way human beings can get rid of conflict 100%. It's there to help us mature. It's part of the maturation process of relationships. But the reason why we break up and never come back together is because we let the past generational curses become our own personal advisors to the present. We look at a negative situation and go, well, you know what? I'm going to let the negative situation tell me what I should do, as opposed to challenging the fact that the negative situation exists because it has a gift to teach you. In the negative situation, it teaches you to transcend the situation. It's not the issue. It's how you deal with the issue that is the issue. Somebody call me right now at 855-369-9898. We got a caller. Anthony, Philly, you're in the building. You got 30 seconds to build. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Money and Young Thundercat? How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, we good, man. What's cracking?
Oh, man. Hey, listen. All right, my conversation might go all over the place, but here's the thing. I don't believe in generational curses. I think the curse was broken a long time ago, but what I do believe in is generational habits. Okay? For instance, I married my mom. Okay? The reason I say I married my mom is because my wife is like my mom. I wasn't attracted to my mom, but my mom was my example of a perfect woman. Okay, my wife, but my mom was rough. My mom was sweet and everything, but my mom's nickname growing up was hate. Okay, she get with you. I see the punch a dude in the ear with a belt buckle, shock you right in the ear for coming out wrong out of his mouth. Okay. I married my mom. My wife is a strong black woman. I have to have a strong black woman because that was my example. And to the brother talking about all you got to do is put it down, that man, brother, let me tell you something. Have you ever seen a woman give birth to a child? You ain't doing nothing. Okay? If you want a woman to be down with you, you got to stand up for her. Okay? My wife is my backbone, but I'm the muscle. Okay? Rick, I'm Rick Ganger too. That's my whole crew, me and my wife. Okay? That's all I need. All right? But the thing is, you're not raising sons, you're raising another you. So, hey, if you want to be a whoremonger, you want to go around there screwing all these women, guess what? Your son will do the same thing. You want to beat your wife, your son will do the same thing to her. So that's what he's going to look for, because that's his example. You know what I'm saying? That's all he had. So, but the thing is,
well, let me just say this, because we got to take a quick break, man. I really appreciate the information that you've shared tonight. Thank you very, very much. Nu, take us out really quickly with a Twitter response. Somebody directly reached out to you and said what?
At MSX Academy. Tell your son to let the weak think you're strong and the strong think you're weak, then surprise them both.
Woo! That's what I said. Hey, man, you got the right hand. Go right 5 times before you let them know you left-handed. That's all I'm saying. 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Tonight's topic, how to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? I'm telling you, dick management skills. How we going to raise these young boys to be men of purpose for the future? Callers, get to your phone lines. 855-369-9898. I'm about to take a quick break, but when I come back, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to New York. I'm going to California. I'm going to Oakland. Where else am I going? I'm going to Nevada. We'll be back. When I come back, more questions, more information, more science. Let's get busy. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. What do you think? Do you see anything wrong with getting around? Men getting around? Is it against manhood to just want to be monogamous? Is monogamy really compatible, biologically compatible with manhood? Are we supposed to be, are we supposed to be like Hakeem from Coming to America? Being bathed by many beautiful, deliciously curvaceous women? Is it a part of our natural heritage as being men to have as many as we can handle? Or is it a sign of maturity to be able to stay with one woman and raise one family? Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Double standard. Men with multiple women is swagalacious, swagnificent. It is the pinnacle of my penal prowess. But if a woman has multiple men, she's an outright whore. Call me right now, 855-369-9898. If you're just tuning in, how to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? Right? Ain't no women out there. Well, maybe they are now. At war. But typically men, we start them. Right? We're warmongers in our relationships and in the business world. It's kill to be killed. We've turned our relationships into that, have we not? Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Elizabeth from Georgia, you're in the building. Let's roll.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, I was listening earlier when you were talking about the women that like the thugs that come out of jail and all that.
Yeah, somebody wrote one of my guests wrote a scenario up and I read it. Go ahead.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's necessarily women. That sounds like maybe some little girls, that are still searching. I mean, with all the diseases and stuff out there, why would you want to get with somebody that just came out of prison? You don't know, like you said, you don't know what dude been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of mindless to go out there and be with a whole bunch of guys.
But Elizabeth, I think the point was women are attracted to bad dudes. Why?
I think grown-up women are attracted to men that are strong, you know what I'm saying, and are, comfortable with who they are.
Let me ask you this, Elizabeth, let me ask you this. Do you think older women tend to settle more than younger women?
No, because I'm an older woman. Hell no.
Could you be an anomaly? Could you represent the minority? Because I feel, as a man, I've seen that older women tend to put up with more because they feel like their options and their choices and time is running out.
No, I just got divorced and I'm 52.
You about to get right back on the track, ain't you?
Okay, you don't know. No,
I know now.
I'm 52. And he's like 6 years younger than me. Whatever. I don't put up with a whole bunch of mess because I can work, I can take care of myself, and of course I want some company, but I don't want anybody because what kind of company is that? I might as well have a TV. Like that boy was saying earlier, he learned about women on reality TV. When did TV become a teaching tool?
Well, as soon as, it is.
That's reality TV. Oh,
reality TV? Some of the biggest stars in the world are reality star television people.
Lies are told on them reality shows. I don't believe half of that mess. I'd rather just watch a movie, child.
Well, thank you, child.
Right.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. I appreciate the call. You are having too much fun. Mike from Florida, please turn some of this fun down. Let's go.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you, I appreciate your show and what you're doing with your son. I think the point of everybody's trying to make is kids nowadays, it's hard on young boys, especially young black kids, because they're raised with peer pressure and their friends and everything, and things they do now, everybody have them under their own surveillance now. And I think love is the main key to everything. If you don't, if mom can give a kid love, so can dad. And I think they are missing that option of having dad in the house and giving them love and respect like they should, because we were raised with love and respect. I'm old school. I've been married 29 years, and I've been with one woman, and I've raised 2 daughters, and that's what we raised them on. We raised them on love and respect. And I just think that young boys need to know, to hear daddy say love just as well as mom. Because, mom can only go so far. If you don't have a dad there, then, that you're basically, like the man said, you're raising yourself.
Hey, man, I just got to say, because I got to cut you off here, we got so many callers and we got short on time, but I appreciate that information, and it's very good information, and it makes me think this. The black community, man, not just the black community, man, but people, man, we are all victims of conditional love. Because you brought up love, man, it's conditional love. The truest form of love is unconditional, and typically women have unconditional love for their children. But their men have to filter through their principles and their standards, which are conditions. And to me, this is where we get disconnected. If we can love each other as man and woman unconditionally, imagine the power of a family we could build from an unconditional space. And guess what comes with unconditional love in our relationships? Conflict. Conflict is the conduit to growth. We go into these relationships with a fairy tale concept, thinking we just going to be in love and we're going to like each other all the time, and we not going to have fights and we not going to have disagreements. Listen, this is why I say that we turn these disagreements and fights into intergenerational baggage and illness because we never resolve them. We just carry them with us and contaminate each new relationship situation we get into. It pisses me off, man. Ike from Missouri, you're in the building, man. Talk.
Yeah, in reference to what you were talking about, giving your son advice, the best advice I could give, your son is for him to listen to his father, because your son better than anyone, and can guide him, on the right path. But myself personally, I grew up without a father, and the one thing that I learned was that if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So you're getting involved with different women, and you can't take care of yourself. How you can take care of a child? It's important for you to stay focused on school. Make sure you can take care of your responsibilities and then move forward. But that was my comment.
Thank you, man. That's good information. And like I told him too, I said, listen, man, right now the sky's the limit. He wants to be a lawyer right now. But I also told him, hey, it's too many lawyers. Don't count out being an engineer. He's exceedingly intelligent. Does well in school, got good grades. It ain't just basketball, buddy. You could go as far as the presidency if you want. If you got into politics now, being the president of the United States isn't out of the picture now. So I'm letting him know you got options beyond your wildest dreams right now. Man, this is crazy. Hey. They'll be there. That's what my uncle told me when I was 14. He said, Zo, they'll be there. Trust me. He says, I'm old as shit right now. And they're here. 855-369-9898 is the number to dial. Ben from Florida. Oh, Uncle Ben. That was my uncle's name, too. Ben from Florida. Is this you? Talk to me, Ben.
Hey, what's going on, man? Listen, one of the things that I do want to say right now to your son and to you, all women are crazy. So no matter what anyone else tells you, no matter what goes on, they're all crazy. From someone who didn't have a father in their life and is grown up, I've become successful. I'm currently in law school. I mean, the more money you get, the more sex-chasing women that's going to come around.
Also with that, my last final point is you do attract what you do like. So if you see yourself finding being with the same women, the same problems, most likely it's because it's something that you're doing. You're the most common denominator. But all in all, man, your dad is telling you right. Like his uncle said.
You know what? And let me say this. Ben. Hold on one second, Ben. My son would like to address you. Go ahead, Nu.
Okay. You said all women are crazy, but we attract what we like. So if we don't like crazy, then how will we attract what we don't like?
You're saying we must be crazy to attract crazy, right?
No, he said we attract what we like. So if all women are crazy, then what we like doesn't matter because all women are crazy.
Oh.
Well, that's one key point. My whole
son.
thing is you got to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish, Ben.
Okay, all right. My key point is this: that one characteristic that every woman has, no matter if they show it in the beginning, in the middle, or the end, they all have a crazy tendency. It is just based upon how they were reared, how much craziness will show out. The more they care about you, the crazier they will get. But every other aspect of a woman is based upon what you put out in the universe will come back to you. But the crazy piece is always going to be there. Everything else is what you put into it.
Young Nu, would you like to continue?
Define crazy.
To define crazy, wow, how can you define crazy? Just take something something that you find is very simple, very minute. A woman is going to find a way to turn it around, twist it around, and make it sound something that's very unique. I was dealing with a woman. We stopped talking. I cut her off. She put on my Facebook wall a whole page of nothing. She emailed and inboxed every woman that I had a contact with in the past 2 weeks, asking them if we were dating. Not because I was a mean guy,
Ben.
not because I cheated on her, because she wasn't happy. I let her go.
So Ben, let me do this. Let me do this really quickly because we are pressed for time. I appreciate the call. We did get a little off topic. It's dick management. So let's go back to dick management. How to manage your dick. Is masculinity out of control? We're trying to raise these kids, man. He just gave us some bad advice about all women being crazy, and my son boxed him in with the chess move. My son. Let's go. Cynthia, Wisconsin. Let's move.
Hey, Joe, this is Cynthia. I just want to make a comment on something that you brought up earlier about, women kind of being blinded by a good dick. And I hate to admit, but I did fall into that category. And, it was my first serious relationship, being 21, and, I decided to have sex for the first time, and it ended up making me compromise a lot that I thought I knew I wanted, but really was just kind of blinded by good penis to really realize that it wasn't what I wanted. So, just some advice to your son, taking that next step to decide to be in an intimate relationship with someone, the emotions are completely different, whether it's, for you being a guy or for the girl. No matter what, it changes things. So, it's definitely something that you really want to think about before you jump into it.
And you know what? That's good advice. I appreciate you sharing it with my son. Thank you very much. We're going to take our final caller, but before I do, this is what I tell my son all the time. I say, relationship is the only class you will never graduate from. So take your time before you enroll. It is a tough class to understand, let alone graduate from. Take your time before you enroll. You got time before you enroll in that class. Because once you enroll, you can't get out. You can't change that class out. Chris, Texas, you've got 30 seconds. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, man, you're doing the right thing, man. Shape and mold your son, man. And it's all about being a leader, man. You don't want to be a follower. And I'm like your son. I done played sports. I done, been a high-profile person and playing sports and everything. But that's the main thing. Be a leader. Keep shaping and molding your son. That's most important. That's going to be most important in his life. I'm still close with my pops. He's 73, and we still talk. He still gives me advice, and it's leading me up to be a even better man now. I I done been in multiple relationships. You know, I don't try to make babies just to make babies, or just to have sex, or whoever I'm with. I try to be a leader, you know, and as that's most important. The older you get, like how you say, your windows get it closes, and the more you get older, your window's gonna close.
Well, wow, he's okay. He dropped. Okay, sorry about that, bro. It happens a lot all of a sudden. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody reaching out tonight. We've got a wrap. This is an ongoing dialogue. Don't think just because we did 2 hours on this that you should stop talking. Follow me on Twitter